This tutorial walks through the basic concepts used by Firewall Builder. To demonstrate these concepts, we are going to use an existing data file that contains a single IP table's firewall configuration. Firewall Builder is based on the concept of objects, which are stored in a library and are displayed as an object tree. The active library is displayed in the left-hand window called the Object window. In order to use objects in a firewall rule, users must first add the object to the library. You can right-click on any folder and create a new object of that type. For example, I can add an address for a new object called web server with an IP of 192.168.1.80. As you can see, navigating the object tree is similar to navigating a file system directory. Double-clicking on an object in the tree, or anywhere else the object is displayed, will open the object for editing in the editor window at the bottom of the screen. As soon as I edit an object in the editor window, for example changing the object name, the changes will take effect to the object immediately. Firewall Builder supports multiple libraries for storing user-defined objects. By default, the application comes with two libraries: the user library, which is where users create their own objects, and the standard library, which includes hundreds of predefined objects. To switch libraries, select the desired library from the drop-down list. The standard library is read-only, which is indicated by the lock icon, and includes many commonly used objects. For example, if you wanted to create a firewall rule that included the HTTP protocol as a service, you can find this object in the standard library in the services folder under the TCP subfolder, where you will find the HTTP service object. Double-clicking on this object will open it in the editor window. In this case, we can see that the destination port is port 80 and that the object fields are grayed out and cannot be edited. This is because the object is in the standard library, which is read-only. Instead of scrolling through the object tree, you can also use the filter box to search for an item like SSH, which will return the list of objects containing SSH in the name. A history of searches is also kept, making it easy to find frequently used objects. Clear the filter by clicking on the X to the right of the filter box. Now let's switch back to the user library. This library includes a firewall object called NY-Firewall. The firewall includes several network interfaces and three objects called policy, NAT, and routing. Double-clicking on the policy object opens it in the rules window. The path of the policy object being edited, including the firewall name, is displayed at the top of the rules window. In Firewall Builder, each rule includes standard elements such as source, destination, and service that users can drag and drop objects into. Let's edit rule number 2, which currently permits SSH access from the local network called NYLAN2 to the firewall. In the standard library, there is a group called Useful ICMP. Double-click on the object to open it in the editor window, and you can see this group includes common ICMP services like replies to pings. To add the Useful ICMP object to our existing rule number 2 services, just drag and drop the object into the service field. Note that a single rule can have more than one object of the same type. Switching back to the user library, we can create a new address object. For example, a network management server with IP 192.168.1.20, and add this as a source in our rule number 2, which currently permits SSH and ICMP access to the firewall. As you can see, you can use both user-defined objects and standard objects in the same rule. Objects can be used across any number of firewalls, including firewalls of different types. This concludes our Firewall Builder Basics tutorial. Thanks for watching.